Hello, everyone. Welcome to another one of our Day One and Beyond Did You Know sessions. In this webinar series, we focus on new features and enhancements of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and discuss how these solutions empower businesses to achieve greater efficiency, security, and scalability. Whether you're a seasoned OCI user or just getting started with your cloud journey, you're in the right place to explore what's new. My name is Taylor Zhang from the Cloud Customer Enablement team who puts on these Day One and Beyond sessions. Today, I'd like to welcome Manjunath R. and Anand Prasad as we'll be talking about how to gain insights into Oracle AI through real-world use cases. Take it away, Manjunath.
Thank you, Taylor. Greetings of the day to everyone. So before I deep dive into what we were here today, keeping in with the tradition, I'll start with a fun fact. Right. So AI has been a buzzword for the past few years, and it has been creating ripples across industries. But did you know one of the first AI programs was written way back in 1951? That was to play a game of checkers, which had a computer and that took up the size of an entire room. So if you fast forward to today, you could see systems, not even the size of your palm, which process vast amounts of information. And this has unlocking possibilities which we only dreamt of. Right?
Wow.
So isn't this interesting?
Definitely. I think this is something we have come a long way. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anand Prasad. I'm a cloud architect at Oracle. Well, before we jump into the meat of the discussion, I definitely thought like the way we have come up from like in a room full of systems to a small device we can hold it in a palm. I just want you to talk about what are the challenges the customers are facing today, and from like before we jumping into the real world use cases. Can you discuss about the challenges the customers are facing today, Manjunath?
Sure. Thanks, Anand. I think this is a very great place to start. So let's kick things off with the hard truth. So if you look at the industries today, they are facing some challenges, and these challenges, they aren't just hurdles, but threats to growth. So I focus on certain challenges which are affecting industries and across domains as well. So one of the first huge problem facing orgs today is data overload. Companies today are drowning in data, be it data from customers or be it data from operations and so on. You name it, data is being collected across the entire life cycle. But however, these data, they also have their own problems. For example, these data have disparate data sources. They will also have different multiple formats. They have their own unique sovereignty rules and so on. So with these issues, what happens is turning this data into insights is a very uphill task for any organizations. Similarly, one of the other major issue is the slow process. Take, for example, manual tasks like review of documents or customer query handling, or even uncertainty in decision-making process, right? Even for the simplest ones, they eat up a lot of time and money. Though these things seem trivial, sometimes they paralyze even the best of the teams, right? And since the coding is one of the major thing in this AI era, the third major issue which I wanted to touch upon is organizations not keeping in pace or embracing AI-assisted software development. So what happens is projects will take too long and they will also cost too much. So with these three major problems, I believe most of our audience today, they will be wrestling with at least one or even multiple problems right now today.
Perfect. I think we talked about these three challenges, right? And I'm very particularly aware of the data overload. I think everybody is talking about that with so many devices now generating data and everything. Now, how does Oracle solve these problems? Like, I know this audience will be very curious to know about Oracle capabilities, and I'm pretty sure some of in the audience have the same challenges you discussed about it. How does Oracle solve these problems, or what are the capabilities Oracle offer to solve these problems?
Absolutely, Anand. Let me directly dive into the meat of it. So Oracle AI is built to handle not only these exact pain points, but even a lot more. However, in the interest of time, I'll just touch upon certain services on tackling the major problems we discussed upon. So for data overload, services like OCI Data Science and OCI GenAI agents, they use this retrieval augmented generation, that is RAG, right? So these services, they'll be able to dig into all your enterprise data and deliver precise answers very, very fast. These services, they process vast unstructured data sets, be it emails, be it logs, or be it documents, and they have that innate ability to transform this unstructured data into very structured insights in real time. So this saves a lot of time for the organizations. Similarly, on the slow process, right, we did discuss. So if you use certain services like OCI speech and document understanding, you'll be able to automate things like transcribing calls or even extracting information from forms. So for example, using these services, take an example like a bank which process loans, you should be able to process the loan in just a few hours rather than days. And this indirectly helps boost customer satisfaction and, of course, loyalty as well. We did discuss about coding, right? One of the most important aspects of being developers' assets. All organizations, they need to embrace AI-assisted coding techniques and software development. So services like Code Assist help there. So these will help programmers write codes very fast and even better code as well. Sometimes, most of the times, they provide smart and personalized coding tips. So using these services, personal, they will be able to focus most of their time on innovation. And using these services, they will be able to automate most of the routine tasks, and thereby the software development times, they reduce drastically. So I believe people who have been using these services will agree with me a lot more from our audience.
I certainly do, but I think one of the things which will definitely, at least personally to me, will be very beneficial is you talked about the problems, you talked about the Oracle capabilities. I think it makes a lot of sense if you walk us through a use case, like, take us through the journey of use cases, like, where the problems tie up with the capabilities you're talking about. And that probably the audience will be very curious to know about that, and so that they can relate to their use cases and their problems. Can you certainly do that for us, Manjunath?
Sure, Anand. I think that's something which I'm very much keen to showcase. So though we will be deep diving into one specific use case later, I'll be giving you some tidbits across domains. Like, for example, take the case of a healthcare provider, right? So the healthcare provider, he can use OCI speech to document patient interaction faster. So this will help the doctor to focus on patient care, because the doctor's innate and most important idea is to focus on the patient, but not getting drowned, in too much of paperwork. So that's how Oracle OCI speech helps. Similarly, take the case of a retailer. He might be struggling with inventory because his data is scattered across systems. So Oracle AI will be able to help him pull all this disparate data together. It will also be able to help him predict demand, and it will even flags the risk even before all these risks get hit. Assume, this retailer is a global retailer. He'll be able to use Oracle AI to tailor his website content by region. So what happens is a shopper in Spain, he will get a different vibe compared to a Japanese one. So if you look at this is innovation which is happening in the background, but it feels personal to each and every user. So this is how, and this is where Oracle AI shines with respect to customer experience. And the list, doesn't end here, and the list is quite a long one, Anand.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure the audiences are very curious to know there is a great saying, which I believe it personally as well. Seeing is believing, right? You talked about a couple of things. You showed us the problems. You showed us the capabilities. We definitely want to see something which is in real action, right? Can you show us something which is the audience can relate to it from a demo perspective? So
yeah, great, Anand. This is one of the most exciting part, and which I'm quite very much inclined to showcase to the audience. However, I'd like to just give a quick abstract on what's coming. So, the solution or the demo video which I'll be showcasing will explain how you'll be able to use your org data, combine it with LLMs, and improve customer experience. And we'll also showcase how the HeatWave GenAI which, is used to undertake multiple application features like summarization, sentiment analysis, and even translation to a bunch of different languages. So let me take you to the video directly. Awesome. So this is a demo because this showcases how you can build a GenAI application using HeatWave. And if you look at this, all the tools which are needed to build a GenAI applications are inside HeatWave. So this means all your data resides inside HeatWave, and even the processing also happens inside the HeatWave. So we've been talking about this e-commerce application. So they usually have three major features, right? One, the product description, reviews, and sentiment analysis. So let's deep dive into these features. The first one being the review processing. So whenever a review is submitted and it is approved, right? So two things usually happen. One, the review gets stored inside the HeatWave. And then if you look at this, the JavaScript program, which is also inside the HeatWave, takes this review, sends it to the LLM. The LLM is also inside HeatWave, which undertakes sentiment analysis. The results, whether it is a positive or negative, will persist inside database. So if you look at this, all transactions, the JavaScript code, the execution of LLM, and even the transaction processing are happening inside HeatWave. Let's look at the another ability of this application, that is the summarization of individual reviews. So similar to the previous one, here also the JavaScript program, it fetches all the reviews with either the positive or negatives set separately, sends them to the LLM. The LLM processes it, receives the summary of respective groups, and this summary is being shared with the application for rendering to the end user. So you could see how the bunch of customer reviews are summarized, right? So since we also talked about the global retailer, so this will likely be deployed in different regions with different language preferences. So let's look how aspects of translations are handled using HeatWave inside the LLM. So for instance, the product description, it's translated using the LLM, and the summaries that are generated, they're also translated using LLMs. In the JavaScript, again, it fetches the reviews, sends them to LLMs for summarization and translation. In this specific case, I believe we are showcasing the Spanish example. The translated summaries are generated, sent to the application for rendering. So we did discuss multiple features, right? And now the developer inside you may be wondering, wow, so much programming effort might be needed for an application like this. And but for your information, this is the entire complete backend code needed to generate the sentiment analysis. So if you look at this carefully, this is just a single SQL interface which calls ML generate, and it's passing a prompt which says describe the sentiment, and that's it. The rest of the code is pretty much filler because there are no invocations to external service, and everything is inside HeatWave. So, and similarly, if you look at the other features, right, the summarization or translation, again, the code is very, very simple. So I believe now you'd be wondering, how easy it is to develop applications like this, right? And you do not need any AI or ML expertise to develop such applications.
That was a cool demo. Actually, I was very impressed with it, Manjunath. One of the things which caught my eye is you talked about a little bit about Hub. Yeah, I have. I want to make sure you double click on it so that our audience get more information on AI Solutions Hub from Oracle. Take us through the journey, what AI Hub is, and talk about a couple of things in the AI Hub so that we get the best information insights to our audience.
Great, thanks, Anand. I think we are getting into the meat of the discussion today. Because AI Solutions Hub is the result of teamwork, brainstorming, and a lot of effort from some of the best minds. So even before I dig deeper, I would like to take us to the initial discussion which we started, right? The problems. So along with the technical problems which we focused, the organizations currently, they also struggle on how to efficiently discover and also evaluate and implement AI solutions today, because they would like to see anything AI to drive real business impact. They do not want someone just talking in the air and talking about abstract ideas. And this specific problem, and our answer to this specific challenge is AI Solutions Hub. Our idea here is to simplify all the solutions discovery so that organizations can evaluate multiple solutions and adopt the best one that suits their organization. Right. So if you look at this carefully, we have a centralized platform. It has around 70 plus AI-driven solutions. These are embedded across the entire tech stack of Oracle, and the use cases span across industries. And I would like all of our audience to go ahead, double click on multiple of these things and get their hands dirty. Not only this, we also have a separate section called typical scenarios just to get started. So these explain certain various applications of Oracle's AI tech, and we also have certain examples, code snippets, and reference to the specific solutions for each under each technologies. And the most interesting fact is we recently published the new feature, the new section on the AI Hub called as OCI AI Blueprints. These, though we are just 3 now, but you can anticipate much more in the upcoming future. So these, the idea of the entire AI Blueprints was to deliver a no-code deployment workflows for the most popular Gen AI workloads. This will help you make hardware recommendations and even the OCI compute platform decisions. And not only that, the entire software stack decisions can also be made with this. So these are not just templates, but this will provide you with complete application stack recommendations. So there is a detail for each. I would request everybody to go learn and understand it. And now I think it's time for us to dig deeper into one specific solution. And let me explain what are all the various assets which are available for our audience. So let me take a quick example on this. So this is an AI solution which is, which you will be able to create an enterprise level chatbot, not a simple POC one, but an enterprise grade chatbot, which is developed using OCI AI Quick Actions. And this will solve or automate certain business processes for each. Though I will not get into the crux of the solution, but I'll be taking you through the different the structure of each, how every solution is structured in our AI Hub. So if you look at this, we have a very clear introduction, and this will serve as your business elevator pitch, because this explains the business problem which the solution solves. And similarly, you will have a very quick, short, and engaging demo video like the one we just recently saw on the HeatWave Gen AI. This will also give you a list of all OCI services and also third-party services if involved. So this will help you recreate the same solution at your end. We also have hands-on implementation guides, either on GitHub or some solutions have hands-on implementation using hands-on labs. Not only that, we also give you access to additional resources to dive deeper. So let me just take a quick pass and then take you to the entire relevant details on what you could expect on a Git repo for a specific solutions. And I would like to reiterate that this is the structure which we focus for all of our solutions inside this repository. So get into this repo, you will be able to see that the instructions about the solution, the use case is very clear, very detailed, and this will help you, they will have all the relevant technical details, starting from architectural diagrams, even, screenshots to help you navigate your implementation at your end, and also code snippets as well. So I believe you'll find this more interesting. So what I would like to say is each solution you'll have everything. Like for example, you be a developer or a PM, every solution has everything for you to start from discovery to implementation. And these are not abstract or marketing pitches. These are very nicely curated, validated technical solutions so that this will serve as a foundation. You should be able to use this foundation and modify based on your product needs of your solutions. Right. And not only this, we in the future will also try and ensure that this hub evolves with new solutions. We'll also add multiple filters and fresh AI content. So this will enable us to keep the relevance ongoing as AI evolves at a very rapid pace, and also, of course, quality that matters.
Perfect. I'm pretty sure, I think that this is a great opportunity for our customers to take this as a head start, which they can use it, customize it to their use cases as well. I think this is a fantastic catalog of services, Manjunath, you introduced to us. Now, one thing I'm very curious about is there's so much AI is happening in the today's industry, and there's a lot of buzz, right? And I think the requirements are changing constantly, with Gen AI and all those stuff. How is Oracle catching up with and keeping up with a lot of this requirements changing? What is Oracle's game plan for providing the newer work capabilities, newer the features on the stack? So can you talk about a little bit of what's coming in near future so that I think our audience can know about if they are planning something in future?
Sure, Anand. We are not only playing the catching up game, but we are also a front runner in many of the services. So what I'm showing on this slide is just a mere excerpt or a small subset from the AI stuff. So we just very recently released a public beta for Oracle Code Assist. This is a productivity agent. It plugs into your team's IDE. It uses LLMs to answer questions about code. It will also help you with documentation. It will help you to generate tests and sometimes even the core code itself. And not only stopping there, but we also have many more enterprise adopted models coming to OCI GenAI, and we'll be rolling out this to multiple regions across the globe. And since data is the key to drive all this AI, we are also focusing on deeper integration between LLMs and our databases. So our new SQL agent, it enables natural language to SQL generator. It will make even the non-tech users to access and analyze data. We will also continue to add more agents as we keep moving forward. Right. So I would just like to inform all our audience who have come here. I know AI has been the buzzword, and AI has been on top of everyone's mind. And some people are quite confused on how to start, how to get real value out of it. So, and since so many innovations and so much is happening around everyone, as a developer or as a PM, I would request there is one place which would give you a head start, which will give you all the necessary resources to get started, and that is the AI Solutions Hub. The QR code on this slide will take you that. So I believe you'll find very much and lots of interesting and different use cases which will support yours as well as your organizational needs.
Thank you, Manjunath.
Taylor, before we talk about next steps here, I had a quick question for Manju. Manjunath, how does Oracle AI compare to open source AI frameworks?
Great question. This really, quite thought-provoking. Because there's so many, people working on AI and quite a few startups coming up, right? So comparing Oracle AI to the open source frameworks, I would say, one the short answer is it depends. And if you want me to give the longer version, I'd also say it depends. But it depends on what? It depends on multiple factors. Finally, it boils down to the design goals, boils down to some use cases, and how this exactly fit into your workflow. So if I dive deeper into Oracle AI, so let me just go back on my slides and showcase the AI stack, right? This AI stack, as you say, these are a set of tools or services. These are baked into OCI. So the biggest advantage using Oracle AI is the integration into the OCI ecosystem. So what this gives you is, this gives you seamless access to high performance compute, like NVIDIA GPUs or autonomous databases, or even the secure storage. And these services, they are optimized for scaling and as well as security. And the entire Oracle stack, they are compliant with enterprise grade encryption, and you'll also have compliance with standards like HIPAA or even GDPR. If I have to say something on the open source, they are primarily libraries for building custom AI models. And I would also like to reiterate that these are incredibly flexible, and these frameworks, they have their unique advantages for a specific use case. If I had to take an example of TensorFlow, they very much help you navigate across large-scale deployments. And similarly, PyTorch is industry standard for if you want to do research and rapid prototyping. But however, it also comes with its own innate risks, because you have to control everything from the training of data and the architecture. And you'll also be responsible for setting up your environment, securing your data, and even the entire stack. So you understand the multitude of factors affecting the usage of open source. But if you look at the end user, so depending upon what you use and who you are, if you are a very small startup, assuming you want to experiment with novel AI, I would suggest OpenAI may be recommended because of its versatility and zero cost to start. But if you are an enterprise, right, you want to deploy AI fast, you want it to be secure, and you want to scale, then I would always say, Oracle AI is your best bet, and it will give you a head start.
Thanks, Anant. Yeah, if you wanted any more resources and opportunities to learn more, you'll be able to find some live labs to get your hands on, be able to watch any recordings or also read any documentation. Our next webinar will be on April 28th. So if you would like to join us on the session of Oracle Exadata Database Service on Exascale Infrastructure, we'll be talking about transforming database management. If you enjoyed the session and would like us to conduct a personalized training session for your organization, do email us at personal training email. We will reach out to you. And if you want us to conduct just a hands-on lab, we have our newly designed QuickShot Live Labs for a more expedited hands-on learning experience toward a particular topic. And under Code Innovate program, we will co-develop a solution with you based on your use case. Please remember that personal training is an investment we make into our customers to help them grow and develop their OCI skills at no extra cost to them. On the last slide, we have our Day 1 and Beyond series. Our newly added one is on Oracle Analytics Cloud. Thank you so much for joining us, and see you next time.